Asia abo ya magana fuacho Emamu Akwaba Edimuba TV XYZ and a power 97.9 if radio XYZ 93.1 FM so ene eye wukuda June busuming ne da toso eye eduno enum kasebo na yede ebramo efi ye main studio say we number 37 Abebrese Street Osu Accra Volta Power 94.1 ebefe bi wo ho sharp wo takra den Suma FM wo krankwanta buem ewo jasika ginyame wo sampa nananom ewo ahafo go so Western Radio waziama elembele KFM 92.1 wo pa Zanglegi FM wo bole VC Radio ni TV wo donkwa onofin atom local FM wo Sasitre High Radio ewo bechem Radio SMonline.com near 68 FM of Virginia, USA. Tune in. Your power 97.9. Daisy Radio to Whiteley. And for Power Radio, Power G-Life Radio UK, OPD Radio to UK, my XYZ Online.com, Multi TV, Digibox National Radio Channel XYZ, Sunsukase Boy, and I'm on Facebook, a Power 979, and if TV XYZ Ghana, YouTube, a XYZ Broadcasting, Laos Silence Television, America, Brochime Munsukase Boy, and I'm on Wimpans and Pawidi FM so pusiga Shaman Potem ye wanyansa po FM so Rich FM ewa Sinfusu Gateway Radio Wankwanta South NFA Trinity FM ewa Bogo so Sunset Radio ewa BBNA 101.5 FM ewa eye Dambai ene name Potem 107.5 FM ewa Sunyai Kasiebono etifing sem no bi eni
Awusiama me get to Daraba Esabatokuno or your Chief Justice and Prayer suspended and or their two just say Ghana for Bidumo Keka say or resign it no so resigning net and resign it chna ya dachin so ekahubi.
Yo na mamini sem grana muno o say anamunga yenge to say yebetu na desono o say tia omange yangbra
na abeda dwase ye kasai Office of a Special Prosecutor was said to anamon manipa base numbi wa kwachire wo mo e de aka nipa no adi kan afre wo mo detain wo mo dada e wo GRA NSM on sensem no emo
abanga chirem se madam Erabas Saki Tokono ni se mo odi atugwane nyina no enye no kware na ban enam yen amamrane so na onam se ye begina efri ho
NDC amanyoko no mu dwamtene ni ya ne din ene Johnson Asiedu Nketiah General Mosquito ne won na ye board chairman at the Magana Port and Harbors no share boss so be adwuma pa aboa ma port ho ate wan
o mampanyanga be de akire din sema to gwa chem so hu be ye papa se ye de ye sika ebe hye hu mesua enefe abefo kwanto na bebua mamebum ebe nya adwuma ye no twense aban ima wo adwuma nye
Kare mampani dada Yera John Ajikumkofo akasa de ache MPP amanyoko no ma no se eye se wo be ye messenger ewo aban eti adwa so mu sense bia wo be ye kokoro ewo opposition aban mu ne be wi akire emfa hwe emrewo
Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rollins on the NDC amanyoko no mpanyifo chirem say you National Thanksgiving Day and Paibo Jumedi beba so no omo so omo fu aso yie pa
adesma mansem wani afoforo pina ka ho na nwume ya tena se de somo se ye no nsi abremu aka nka se bo nwume kan ho ne emfa se da ma nwume ko bia wo mo ebo ye chidom free screening e ba so we health alert clinic for na de ebra wo nim se wo mo de e ba also wo mo ebo bi e ma ne ma ekoye medimosis nso wo mo eteche bia wo hwe abo ma prostate sem nyina no watu ase dekudekudi ama wo afei obi a malaria ne typhoid ha no eye ruta natural product and ye kanfoma wo sajibe na enom na emwa wo sa kwan so like for say awo ho asem no bra na abete nge wo fie wo nsuo na agene no bra ne emu aduro mensa ka promo no so ne tua eguso ya ekoso dendende ha let's talk educational consult wo se fa ma ne bra na wo mo enhwe wo mo wantete wo mo ema haksa me hyade yenim se all satan for pa said ntipebinom na emwa Little George nso de okona hwe ho akwa mesha no wode emu ahodo aba 3p boa ma yefunu a ayedonchon no edi animu no eso atwe de aba from ti akoho afi emema ne be emema na omagina wona so a SMB tese correct pa enti wo be ma pebinom edu heba na akofa edi aba se adwene be ye adwuma ni pedua ne be sisi so yi a na Spanish eni wonua no mo a wo mo adwama so na ebo sa kwane so pa specialist nso boa ma ye ne wo hepatitis ABC ne nasefo no wo matu ase Austin real estate de oso be ma yensase papa edaye ya manso na so na fe isim MTN everywhere you go wo mo de sasem yi ede ma wo afoforo bi kasa anwume ko hu mo nyina ta ye che anwume emi ede nsam ne somo
Kanfo eyeme Okrah Kofi Dakon mene
ama poma checheku
efe kase abone mu kyerem ankasa enen omanga na yente mwafo paninga enede ye ne mo kase no o se won fa ne dwuma etwere ho kakra ananse on twentwen so ne bonika ne se suspended chief justice madam Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokono ena odi nsem atugwa eruchem se kwan a aban no enam so na o se onfa ne dwuma etwere ho kakra esanse wo pese wo yino efri ho no o se etia omanga na yen 1992 constitution no o se constitutional bridge ewo ehonom odi nsem itugwa no chem se anamon aban erutu no nyina no kamia se etia oman no emra ntono de ebeye dinga ma ne ye papa se ni nsem aban erika no obetumi edisusa maami di nsem itugwa enawia breyara wo bra nankasa offense mtwerefo nhiem ewo nkramante ma wo nisem a efiase bae eyini de edikanga wabekasa ewo ho ena wori echirem se kamia ye se eye yen 1992 constitution no nia aban enam so a wo se won suspended no ebrichi eye constitution no
is historic in all of Ghana's 68-year history as an independent republic. There has never been a hearing for the removal of the Chief Justice. One would therefore have hoped that if such a process becomes necessary, it would provide good guidance and precedent for nation building. Unfortunately, every step of the removal process being undertaken against me is being done in a manner that breaks every rule on how justice is delivered in our country. And this is why I find the need to draw the nation's attention to the serious violations of the Constitution and law in the process, and the danger it holds for the development of the nation's democracy.
Now, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, onu se Araba Esaba Tokono ohwe biai a wo mu se eho na de biara da ye betutu na no e woni sensen mu no edu lodge o se no grant security concern na mu betutu na no eho nom Araba Esaba Tokono eno se no canify
the Edu Lodge facility that the hearings are being conducted in featured very prominently in the planning of the murder of judges on June 30th, 1981. And this can be read about in the special investigative report on that terrible event in our nation's history. It will be recalled that there was a Major Samapa, a military officer who was killed with the 3 High Court justices, who was the director of human resource of GIHOC. He was my uncle and my guardian when I entered the University of Ghana in September 1980. I was also living with him at the time he was abducted and murdered. Was Edu Lodge chosen for my inquiry to make me feel insecure? I think so. And I continue to hold the view that there's no reason why a judicial hearing is being conducted behind the high walls of Edu Lodge.
A suspended Chief Justice, Madam Araba Esaba Saki Tokono.
Na ewasa ensentwofo nkita odi ye na odi ye na mu no odi atodwa wo kyese no kwasem ne fiti breya ye sha ase ne nsensem isori ye na Chief Justice no Chana Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokono ni nsensem bebre akoso ne wono ankasa no won hye da nai esanse ntrene pa ye nkrofo bono phone so nya asem ketwa wo ha na obi afrew he se wo wansi fo ma na wa resign a ene se na wo ya ndia pem no o kyena wo ha na obi asend o text message he se asomesi so resign ana aksem no wanyemu ame ampamo a ene no de no de ni ade was ntrene a Ghana for de gu ne so e wo de e koso emu no enya atem keto no se no ka no.
Anyone who has been to the Circuit Court or the High Court and made subject to the rules CI 47 will know that those rules never conceived that a hearing can be conducted without the claims, the defenses, and the issues being carefully laid out before the parties and accepted by all of them before a hearing starts. It is this total absence of compliance with all known rules of fair hearing that has caused my lawyers to file applications for judicial review in the High Court to declare all the proceedings void. Because the clear danger is that through this flagrant violation of CI 47 and the darkness of the current proceedings being held in camera behind the walls of Asiedu Lodge, my lawyers and I can come to the end of the proceedings. The evidence will show that every one of those allegations in the petitions that were given to me on 27th March is unfounded and untrue. And yet, the committee can dig up some allegation from whatever documents they claim to be having from the president.
Abusianti we ya ma me get to Dwaboase abatokunu no wie no wo che se uyi nche ne na nkrofo bo no kra agina nche ne Ghana fo bi no mososo keka se enka be ya adwuma ne de wonyae on resign na ewo mu se ya sha asie mpo ne ya suspend no ayagina o maga ne amamra constitution chikire ye afi apima hen kra de okromie article 146 ne so ya ene nipa bi no mo twe na bo so wo ho de ne nso no get to Dwaboase abatokunu so be resign pa de enka bonsam wo fa ne tampiko no ntwe ne se mi o se process tantanya ene aban o tedwa so ede no femu na ogiri se enye bibia ekoyie no won pene so no resign sense se ne ya o kaso resign a na se de ekoso no susu se airtime enye no na wade ato no susu de onyanyi ntum ntini atwetan won o mu twia ede akosi asie.
Resigning or retiring while Article 146 proceedings are being conducted to remove a judge is not an option any judge or public official can even have. There is a decided case on the matter by the Supreme Court. The suit number is J6/02/2019. Again, no one has the authority to walk away from proceedings started by the state. Judgment can be entered against you because you failed to defend yourself. And a judge who resigns or retires would still lose all entitlements that they have worked for because they failed to defend the claims they resigned or retired while the proceedings were still going on. Therefore, if false claims are made against a judge or commissioner or other public office holder subject to Article 146 proceedings, just to achieve a political agenda, the solution cannot be to resign or voluntarily retire out of frustration, pressure, or fear. You would only subject yourself to two cruelties: a judgment based on false claims and loss of everything you have worked for. It may well be that the efforts being made are intended to frustrate me so that I resign, so that the architects of the scheme can go back into the media and say that the wild and unfounded allegations were not defended because they were true and I had no defense to them.
Usianti we ma me get to Dwaboase abatokunu ne yete so de sanse mi to jo se koba se wo ya na dwene mpo so obe resign na ese ne ma mienu na abo no we ye bone se mienu na abo no edi nkan ese ebu asem de egu no so ejiri se asem na nye no kre eno ye number 1 na afa adwuma wo ye ne mfie bebre ne ye wo se nkokọ na ho megie mu a ko nya kakra bi de bone ho as he a friend say former chief justice ne ade nyina ne nyina be bone de bi enti wo manya ahye san hye we ase no woni omo kwa kosi na wiye na de be pie free mo bia no eno susu free mo abanti ensem ni bia na ode to dwa won sadwofo nkita ode odi na se no no
etire se wo resign
o da bi eno de enye option enye option o se temuani bia ni hokro obe consider a resignation at this time enye adwuma
na se ni ma obenya nti
o eno ka ho ena so se onye bone ha ena process ni so enko yie nti okwagitum na akwesa ase process ni wage atum se ye but enye. Oh, sorry.
Jesus say virgin.
Yeah, to akase.
And you not take akase. It's a great mo and a bang so and in some abba and a rich say in some madam araba has abato kono akikeka nyina no o se nya no kware opening on no kasa edema bang eye Felix Kwachi ofusu eno chirim se hwe ensentwefo nhema na ma mekikeka nyina no inya no kware ba kokora esanse His Excellency John Dramani Mahama onam eye yang afi apim ahankron aduokron bien amamraiso anya no po eno nankase fiase mmom owo ho ene nipa bi edi petition bre no ena wo di petition so say Council of State emunsom ena won edi mrane so pepepe etinya mami erike nyina no Felix echirem se nya no kware.
What has happened today is most regrettable, and as government or as the President Mama is committed to upholding the rule of law. We cannot have a situation where, depending on who is involved, the constitution is set aside. All Ghanaians are equal before the law, in the same way that our courts have dealt with individuals in accordance to law. If members of the judiciary themselves are alleged to be engaged in some wrongdoing, the processes laid down and spelled out by the constitution ought to be respected, and that is exactly what has happened.
Felix Etuasuchim says His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no bia sebio oyo mampanyi bia kekese onimra entino obekwakoye adibia Ghana yenga mamra no emfuaso na mmom anamom biara wo betu a Ghana fu nyinara yebeje atum se mrei ene wo se yefaso no enu pepepe anabang no obefaso.
We respect the right of Her Ladyship the Chief Justice to express any view that she holds about the matter in question, to the extent that it is consistent with the rules, because the Constitution makes it clear what the processes are in determining a matter of the sort that we are engaged with. The Constitution requires confidentiality on the part of all parties. It is a reason why the presidency, on behalf of His Excellency the President, has refrained from commentary on the matter beyond stating what the President has done in compliance with the Constitution. So it would have been desirable that that constitutional provision was respected by Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, so that we do not have to engage in public commentary up until the time that the committee looking into the matter makes their determination. We are compelled, however, to correct certain misimpressions that were created at the briefing. As yet, nobody has been able to ascribe any known verifiable constitutional breach to the President in the way that he has handled this particular matter. From the very first steps in this matter, the President has kept fidelity to the Constitution and has respected the spirit and letter of the Constitution. Everything he has done has been by the book.
Felix Kwachi ofusu eye okasamafo edima abanga nasa banka samafo amane so eye menia wisdom hedejome ono na obo amane efi omampanyin akache ewo enkana wisdom mu akwaba ensamfufuru ben na Roa Felix ekai as far as eye madam esaba tokono nsami eye concern
ba ko sanso ekaka no eni se binu ekase ebeyanka madam Chief Justice on resign na aban pe information chi no chese aban bia chi obia enka se eye mame tokono on resign no yeah me to Felix Kwachi ofusu ono ene na me to enhia da kese na no to na me muda ye oni betu ye gina bia ka se ade amame isaba tokono on resign eni chi o se ade ba kwa mame tokono so kan e wo me press conference ni ene venue na se bia ya eye the committee no probi ni issues no Asiano yeah ebi lodge na chiru say government property here by Osu Castle. It is obi na baby ekase because by Osu Castle nti idea is marks of intimidation any bibi sa na idea enye no kwen ene enye it say other linking is for 4 years some killing of judges and soldier for me idea it is nowhere linked to case here equation in venue media the committee no any request here so open the sound and say because the constitution and my quite say don't be shabiano it should be in camera yeah chess you quite say in confu and I say obi equity won commodity and I say in cinema Rebecca on it then you know what you see and there a committee request here and I buy so every month because I buy no juma so the claims now yeah my talk no eka the venue no idea buying it's marks of intimidation I don't know and then okay any idea say obia attitude and attitude which
is the Edu Lodge. Yes, it is close to the Osu Castle, which used to be the former seat of government. As I speak, there are government agencies that operate there. So there's a public place. The Osu Castle is a public place. You can go there to conduct official government business. Beside it are private residences owned by Ghanaians who move freely in and out of their residence, even though they are situated very close to the Osu Castle. So the impression that a facility in the vicinity of the Osu Castle necessarily makes it intimidating or foreboding is completely misplaced. It is unfair. It is not justifiable. Now, Edu Lodge is a state facility which is often used to house high-ranking officials who visit the Republic of Ghana. It belongs to the state. The decision to use that place was not that of government or President Mahama. The committee requested that they needed facilities of a certain status that could house their activities and that could facilitate a smooth running of the proceedings. And that facility was available. It is equipped with modern amenities that will facilitate the work of the committee. And the state only offered it upon the request of the committee. Let me also state that that facility is not intimidating. It is like any regular state facility where business can be conducted to the extent that it is put in the right shape. Wherever these proceedings were held, it will still be in camera, as clearly stipulated in Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution.
Eti Wizzy, Nia Abang Akre, what is the way forward for science and seminar? Anamon Fufrubang and Abang Ebetu.
Into the Felix Kwache for so Ekaidina buying Ekain say, near Akoso and Neno, unfortunate say, a brass and me buy and President Mahama and Kasa action with you, Ejama committee, Nusenka, Ma Ubia and Kawasan, because once issues like this come, the persons involved, say, or rescue or more. Into a we want to say, Chief Justice Nankasa, this petition fund, who know about one thing, Babekawi, a deal leakages of the correspondence and if you Chief Justice want to buy it, but then near Akoso and any day it's unfortunate, it's unacceptable. But on the Koswa, the constitutional provisions now Rano and Mahoquine, so that at the end of the day, no Omombeka said because Chief Justice Abeka went to Omo tranquility process no Obama process no Akoso, and then the committee will do its work. Now recommendations are committed in Edebano, the president will act on it accordingly.
Wisdom Hedejome, Yara Sipi Sodi, Amaneboy, Abrayang, Wisdom Hedejome, Ayang, Amanebonia, Ubutu, or Mampanyang Atnai.
Adesmama Siabremu Kasia Boni Gusu Ede Somona Yentuan Semnosonian Consent for Romano Pay. That's why near Tinkra at the Free Office of the Special Prosecutor Natna by say and Peniformian Sebia Woma Som Ewo my Ghana, Ghana Revenue Authority, Jumenimu Ya one more con and prayer, Fair Womu Bisa Womonsem, Nina FGRA, NSML dealer, Nam Subi, MNA pay Rakeno for Yatampo, not Yatutuna no home. Now Peniformian side, better address a womo Yedika Fair Woma, Yebisa Womonsem no a Reverend Dr. Amishada Uswamwa, ya no ye kane commissioner, Ghana Revenue Authority ho, Afi Isaac Quentel, no a former commissioner of customs and Primpre where general manager Edema SML, Christian Tete Soti, a former technical advisor, GRA, and one so ye Juma managing director, Edema SML, Nina here Jumekwa, woman GRA for the call contract you. Na NA OSP Boyaman say. say nipa miense ye ditani womo ne etoto woma no achi no woma sa akopeke enipa makum ako enum we kra de so machi omo arrested enipa enum e de aba be ka ho womu nyina sa SML deal ya womu GRA call ye ka ho asem kai sa foim womu ye linked to sa eye contract no ene ho nsensem na nipa numi womu ye high profile mpenifo woma somo aban mu ene bi mo so SML adwumako ni mo ena womo ewo Ivan Sadu say eye chief executive officer ewo SML Philip Mensa eye former deputy commissioner legal Ghana Revenue Authority ene or serve as a legal consultant edema SML afi Kofinti former commissioner general Ghana Revenue Authority Joseph Kuruk and afi Faustina Joko womumienu public procurement authority empenim for ya womo soso GRA edwumako ni mo na womu nyina edintintima womu ebie womu ne asa akofa womu de obabeka ho prempre ya no amane NSA 3 nipa miensa nipa yedi ni womo imu edie bail conditions ede to hode ma womo no womo ntumi ni so enti womo de eja wom beda OSP atena ho ama ade achi na emunum de prempre ya no yama womo bi na sansemi ne Emmanuel Wilson Jr. ode anti-corruption crusader ekasa ye inside politics ni ebisa no che se ohu ne se de akoso no kwasem ne se bibi ebe friend se conflict of interest isan se safo ye ka womo asemi nyina dodo no ano na omo ye adwuma wo GRA o enso na womu free GRA no womu ye adwuma de ma SML se saa bre no na womu gusu ne SML no obesi omu gumpem ni nsem ne bi okan ni
the ebetu ja enwawa enza ni ene the issue of inkofua wabubo mudia they are involved in. I suggested clearly an issue of conflict of interest. The conflict of interest is one of the major things that affected on my and in was such a COVID damn say non-common share GRA Ghana Revenue Authority in Omuna no Mudi. Next time the two guys said they had some interest in SML. It raises so many questions. And that is the reason why I said we better to talking about the corruption matters involved here. I don't to the Jama OSP any court because OSP and Shushemunia DA you will DBS or the Beko court or the court now what the court will say, we will take it from there. But what bothers me so much is the issue of conflict of interest. So when I are pointing on so protecting the interest of Ghana, you will not your interest. In this case, JRA. Now later, another two guys say, while trying to protect the interest of Ghana, they were also protecting their personal interest. The idea in Piesie Okrah. And that's the reason why Mackenzie, after the arrest of the two guys, now since you profile only behind it, the challenge and our charge I the Ama OSP pay anything. Uncle beyond just these directors. Now unveiling the actual owner of SML. A very, very important thing. And one of the most important things is to me unveil a bit why and power amayungi only power or share SML. Because for you to be the owner of SML and be able to also influence people like Amisha Da and others are no more GRA to be so much into SML. Not just who you be Okrah and now already so much power. And then the investigation, it shouldn't just end over directors. I actually know your directors. Who share corporate governance and so on. The fact that the director doesn't actually mean who a shareholder. The teacher you finding out the true share owner and our owners of SML. It means the owners of SML. And then you clearly with the investigation in the Kwakudu.
Asem no kwasem etwase hu omo a SML no ye omo dian kasa because no babo bebre ama investigation no akoyie pa we Emmanuel Wilson Jr. we anti-corruption crusader de akoso wo GRA ni SML deal no ho no nkobo bi ne no akwakodie na dwencha wo no so de aba.
Hi TV XYZ, Tele Power 97.9, FM Radio XYZ 93.1, and Jofano Sebram Kasebo Yantiaso, not Yanko in some fufro emo. Omanga na yaman pening abedieche obinfo na Jane Opoku Agyeman and ode ofre akwa mase hu behie ye pa se betuma invest boldly omanga na ye hu mesua fe digital skills na no bebu akwanya ebebu ama mebun ebenya decent work aye na nema akoso ye ede ama won ochembiom se omanga na hu behie ye pa se yen hyehyei ene nema yere ye emrahura ye de ereba no ne nyina nso ebetumi abua ankrankra nyumeku a won enhye abanga se ne beye won munsusu to a woritua no yebetimi atere mu na timi abua ewo osa okwan no eso Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman ede nsemi tugwa ewo afigwe Ghana Civil Society Forum ejumedi a woye na theme a edaso no reimagine development financing and civic action challenge opportunities and the way forward amane bono ntuaso eni ku ahoro a won enhye aban ase won nhyem a fiwei woye no se won so wobehwa namon a wobetu ene won sema wobeka a beboa oman Ghana ni puntu ene ni nyama horo a obeye enomo ene wotunsa ede fro omampanyin abediechiri Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman ene obekasa wodwumedi no ase enomo ena worichirim se ehubehie saban ede sika ebehye humesua ene abefo kwankso a eno ebebu adwuma ede ama emebun a fini kikewe biara ne ho a enkoba se wobetwen aban adwuma ansana wonsa etumi akọwanga no
Ghana and Africa's demography offers a youthful population brimming with innovation and energy. With nearly 6 to 10 Ghanaians under the age 25, the demographic challenges also our greatest opportunity. We must invest boldly in quality and relevant education, digital skills, decent work, and platforms for youth-led civic action. We invite civil society to partner us to achieve this.
Osi ehubehie biom se yebeka bachirim na aban ene kueku ahoro a won enhye aban ase no ebetumi ayejuma na akontabu ene niema wobeye nyina nso no yebebuem na ahye won den na niema akoso yie.
We must build a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and just. And in order to build this, we must reimagine financing and reclaim civic action. We must work together across sectors, generations, and borders. Let Ghana be a place where local initiatives meet strategic investment, where accountability meets empowerment, where development is done with ordinary people in mind. Let us go forward and build the Ghana and Africa we know we can build and be proud of.
Enwechi Chairman Edima National Development Planning Commission Dr. Nimoy Thompson so ebekasa wejumedi nase erichim say
we need a local CSO community whose members will be mindful of the cultural and other contexts in which they operate, such as the development priorities of the government, and be able to say no to funding that does not only subvert our cultural values but also undermine the sovereignty of the country and even distort the operational priorities of the CSOs. To be sure, no matter how successful CSOs are in finding alternative sources of funding or strengthening existing ones, foreign aid, broadly speaking, will continue to play a critical role in our national development efforts.
Nikrokramo ena civil society free a wobedi djumai won anamusifo ahoro ene mpanyifo bi nso a womufi amansanka bomuko won anamusi bia nso ebekasai ewe djumedi no ase.
We're seeing the shrinking of aid, particularly to the civil society sector, and especially from traditional sources of funding or assistance. We've also seen a shifting focus of development assistance from the governance, social development, to primarily security, private sector development, which are important, but in a way also means that they need to shift or to respond to this dynamic.
Na yanko Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority womatna yenim se empenifo ye nsakra se de be adwumako no wobani be ye nyam na fe omudwumade mu ne ma akoyie na ba ne ma ne bi esusuo se mpempi no ya na ebon wo sa atena ye ho no betumi ayi afri ho no womode ho asem egu akwan so ne senti ne woma power board a se womo na ebetena se no ma hyehye ne ma aboa ama Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority no womatumi aya kono no makọ manim na se pani a wona betena adwam na wahwe dwumade ne so wo ho yera Johnson Asiedu Nketiah wano ya national chairman edema NDC amanyuko no dodo na afra general mosquito ne wabra wo mo hyehyeye na afi wo nyina esu aise adwuma no wo mbekura mu no mahwe ama Port and Harbours wo mudwumadi akonkan no wo de nsema hodo to dwa kire se no kwasem nie adwuma ndie wo bebo pa abo amaniema akoyie
do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
To the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
And I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
And I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve.
Protect
And
defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
Usianti we de akoso abra na wo mo eswese adwuma no wo mo ebe repem nsem apapa kan yankasa na yebepe na ye de ama wo na wo se adwumade na se no anso na panimpaya wo no na ye kwankyerefo ya Ghana Shippers Authority woda no yera ono de ye Professor Ransford Jampo wo no so ye induction de ema no isanse ye board na na se jefofo no wo maye wo Ghana Ports and Harbours ne de na beka ho nti na wo se induction na ye de ne hyemu nti se adwumade na se eno no so ni induction no ekoso.
Na National Democratic Congress NDC amanyuku no won edinsem atugwa erichem se nyankopon ya dom brother wo yen enemy be July busumi ni da be di kan National Day a yese ye de ato ho se ye mompai na ye mfa na asenso fa komo onyankopon no wochem se saada na beba so no wo nyina no wo mo efuaso wonye wo mkuto no aka MPP fu so chem se wo mo fuaso sara enefei omanga na yen bia panyin a odi kan bibia besinkoy na nakono do agiman Rollins so chem se sajumedi ebebuye yipa na mpanyifu nyina radi nsami tu gwa ne ndisa manyuku no echem wo brea committee a woro hwese sa adwumadi beba so wokosra no anase wokosra wo nyina ra na wokoto nsafra wo se adwumadi ebeba so na Elvis Piesie Okrah ono lead committee enima wode nsami ekoto wongane na mpanyifu yi edi sansami etugwa amane bono tuasoni eda wo mo yesi ose omamuni nyina yebebo mpai eni nase amotwe bia mponyankopon yebeba so July busumi ni de dikan enti ba so guguso a wori agije manfo adwenkyere eni afutu okopem wo ndisa manyuku no akache eno otitene ne dima ndisa manyuku no Johnson Asiedu Nketiah edi nsem bi tugwa sei
hands to be able to achieve economic freedom and whatever, and the ideas we are churning out. If we don't train the heart, we are going nowhere. So when there is any move like that, that touches on the morality of Ghanaians, I think it is a move that we need to applaud and support. Right at the dawn of civilization, it has been known that before any society can survive, there are three things that society must bring together to be able to build society.
Committee no sanko promo NPP fo won atena kesemu a ewo asalam down eno na won twelfo pen Justin Fimpokodua ensu kirem se Tempo a eta edwumadi echi no obi biara nhwe se wobetumi ede ayedwuma
national prayers and thanksgiving service nti eyoma mu nyina MPP account ya mayoku a yeje sumudi na mesomo ne kremosumudi na program bi se ekoso a yetimi nkase NDC aba na to so nti politics yamba da bi se bi odo anyankopon de ama o man Ghana na yakwa abatuo na se bi anye se kuro bi abasabasa esi ho ne ntokwa esi ho na Ghana ida so wa asundwe mu emfa won say ye ndi nkunu na mum asundwe na wo mem kwa na ya de a ekire ne di adanse se Yakopon wo do sonko ema Ghana
kan obi apanyin a odikan Nana Komedu Ajimang Rollins so Basum Kukodu na kache no enso chem se eye pa enti omo nyina wo bebebi.
And it's something that I cannot put off. Yeah. However, I think it's such a good initiative to have everybody on board to see the way forward in the country and how we manage it to the betterment of our children, our great grandchildren, our generations unborn. I'd just like to say a big thank you for coming all the way to come and tell me, because you easily have put in a letter for me to respond. But you've got a big committee to come all the way.
Committee no esan Reverend Dr. Steve Mensah no general overseer de charismatic evangelistic ministry asye eno chim se Mansa ejumedi emeda ko mmom yehwe se betumi akrom afibo. Enti amanebo no ne ekopue enen.
Ghana Mampani Dada John Nejikunkufu ne wodi afutu akwade ama MPP amanyuko magitafo na ne nsem ne bia wo kan ye eyese obeye bia wo bedi hene anabe messenger kura wa ban a wote adwa so mu sense obeye general secretary ewa amanyuko a eti opposition mu ekobasa de ase wan kasa no na wo njeda monam bebia asa ya emwa na nyina no eye ne nansa yekoso ewa MPP amanyuko no emu bia kwanya ba ya wodi kita ahodo ene ode sa ensemwe etudwa na no kasa wa bra MPP amanyuko no wo mo bia ya wo mo SCC de betete Nkrofo Patriotic Institute ye bia se wo kokogye tete ani ama certificate nti ye kasa certificate awarding institution ya shada ye se ye de bebo tete Nkrofo na eba wo mo ideologies ni ade a ye de hu nimde be hye wo mo tirimo eba se entity bi no mo meya kendi for papa yem build wo mo capacity mo meya leaders papa ye betumi ama safo de tete wo ho na afi wo ma hwese MPP amanyuko ne party no emu be kyene ne moa ya akono nso a wo bebo bi na se adwumade na se na kane mampani ye rajo na jikumkufo de sansemi tudwa.
For as long as the perception persists, for so long, if we are not careful, we may be put out of the arena electorally. So please, let's be objective with ourselves. Let's talk principles. Let's look. The Rota, who was General Secretary in 1969, became chairman in the 90s. One statement he made that I never forget. He said that we are in a party does not mean we are friends. What it means is that we share the vision that this machinery party is the vehicle we need to get power. Earlier you told me that the sole purpose of party is to win power. If we want to win power, then let's close friends. Not as friends, but as people sharing the vision of building the vehicle to win power. See, another is, you go to New Plant Station, you board a bus, VIP. You are going to Kumasi. You buy your ticket, they seat you. The next thing you know, they brought another person to sit by you. The journey might last 4 or 5 hours. If you don't like the face of the person next to you, you may not even look at him or her. You look at the window for the 4 or 5 hours. But at the back of your mind, you are praying that the bus will take you to your destination. The other person may also not like you, but he or she too will be praying that you get there safely.
Abusiagani amampeni da Ira John Ejikunkufu.
Nyafa sidan koma health alert clinic and as a health alert shop wo mse mika cho se nyankropo yaduma July busumini da bedikan first July no wo free health screening enti mu amu diabetes cholesterol high BP ene ne keka ho nyinara yare biara retete wo erectile dysfunction hypertension gonorrhea menstrual disorder typhoid nyina no mse mika cho se wo free OPD ene card nyina free consultation labs nso free enti bomoden na bra one branches ni nyinem na ba hwe wapomude hu insem wo say main office no ewo Medina post office wa wo ne First Atlantic Bank no enedi animhwe 0245 18 893 eno ya Medina branch no ashama fo mu betumi afre 0244 833-057. Honomo woman the Queen's Hotel no ena Edian imhwe. Kaswan so won any MTN office no ena eye opposite e water crowd quantipone so 020-3822-811. Na Pokrasi branch no so won be go filling station no also numbers no eye 0245-18-865 0245-18-865. Medimosis Osemika Chiro said prostate hunsem udi ba betu asidi amaw awo hwa ye dinga mawa eye tatahwe obeti ni te typhoid nso oye hwade ye pa sciatica otu ase na twetwetwe sabi o wanu mu nema nko ya dog ye friend Medimosis papa bi Dr. Moses Dogbache Osemika Chiro se hwehwe no wa dental barrier on the police station no ene de nimhwe Accra Central so o Ghana Highway Authority 1 yard no ajekojo on the school for the deaf no ene de nimhwe Kumase o ahinima kokobin friend was 0244 068 447 Ruta product pa mi pato Ruta mixano malaria karifi numero 1 ebetu ase prakupa di amount bibinanom Ruta tonic no enu ye typhoid dro insufi eni niamanima ye no bebu ama wanya typhoid enti Ruta tonic no enu na bemu na fe Ruta life no beguhu ni pedua no mu kama eye fi biara fi ho lovely mi pato ko baby biara yeto na duro Ghana fa na nyina say heba na say chemical shop but me afre 0244 503 443 na Misa Kapomo no XYZ Broadcasting Limited ye gina ye na so ni obeya ne de biara da betie power 97.9 FM no wa fa phone no wa dial *274# me say *274# me say den *274# mbo now di ho agemu bi uchu amano ba ku bia 5 Ghana cedis na sika no ubetimi di to the tune of 50,000 Ghana cedis kan titika ni mono 500 million pay no bedeng fa ho gem na bibia nkoso ye kama infamount Solak Natural Clinic Oseminka chemu se Sebi ujunso no behwe na junso no mu apaye binga enya de papa efei unu obi akonya empemu egori bidi no wakotiti yare bi mepacho ko Solak Natural Clinic for akache na into asimfama efei ukidne hu sensem so obebu ye pa Dr. Solomon Oseminka chiro se oye lab test ahoro nyina bi efei prostate scan and efei fibro scan nso oye bi na echira kwange wonkan ha okukumlemle Obenhava Senior High School no friend was 055 393 2631 na let's talk educational consult me pamocho se bia wa wo foforo uba no efe na nya busumi esi adere kwa afa ne breyen ye betiti no kama e dia ma homasua kwankso it's Saturday school no ye entrepreneurship reading and writing personality development IT training any ne ka ho nyina ye teacher training and of course consultancy etibo modern hwehwe yen e wo Teshenwa estate honom ye Mango Street ne so ye Benlejo Kuku Municipal Assembly no ubetimi afre yen wo 0249069821 uko Facebook so LinkedIn and as Instagram patro hwehwe yen ewo ehonom haksamisa in the fini caps so no yefu yare dro say dro we FDA fu age atum wo am yefu udidi a usi sabre kakra wo yefu kwekwe mpacho haksamisa in the caps so no enne bebua bo ho so didi sanso onye kasida wa ya twum laga bibiri trukan bi enkoye haksamisa in the caps so no enne bebua mmom uyo bia pemfo anaso bia unye mfisha dumi enyi ya ori to me enumbi ubenye dro bi ato okanshi drugging repash fo wa kacho hallows nso bi wo ho Medina Card Pharmacy Little George Waterman Community 5 Jukad Wakaswa upedudu to anwa for 0240 238-310 and 0203-822-855. Now for Little George Osemika Chiro says still Waterman Community 5 for PVO being run about on any prejudice of 150 pen ubutu 80 bra beto no papa bi etisekoa Mr. Koa plus Dominion powder Mr. Kill vitamins ahoro and if healthy juices bi itise carrot turmeric ginger ni ekeka hunyina ubenye bi ato Osemika Chiro se Vance Chaco activated powder no sudu na kachia ebi wo ho ubetumi beto bi and if Sabasco bi tesenso ebi wo ho ubetumi afre no e wo 0243 140 213 0243 140 213 3P garlic mixture the whole of Africa do way and the garlic papa ye me pacho and I know yakobo abaso body no onu ne edi mano Dr. Prince Mototi onu no da sa yare sabia no me pacho tie ye onu koto le dro na onyamfa so sang back to the community Sunday sika ma won biom eti bomodin koto 3p garlic mixture bi na general body pains and I say utina sika kra na onanga etiti kase mros obesity mi se berima e ma wafunya kase oh brajai afofide be wan hwe meba no obeje osika rough kope 6 pack ni bi eye 3p ena numa ubenye bi bomodin ko ba bibia yetonga do kan shi ubenye bi ato ko fisam ene Kingswalk tema community 5 Little George Akache Medina ni St. John's yankoto bi e wo health alert shop achamafo inkoto bi wo Equus Pharmacy na kaswafo nko Tribe Judah ipato for doctor e wo 0248 928 824 ene 0201 000 021 edu heba ene SMB test e karifi pebi marima do papa enen na naso ye hono ko hono ma stroke de otu asese enti bomoden na ko naso ye no man kesin be fikro ma na se odoko official town kwashi ahinku street ne so obetimi afre 020 1044 Spanish garlic mixture no ene ni capsule so no mi pa cho yepa sabio utina se no nanga hono swollen feet kasimro so anase obia bunsa no moja ne meye arthritis on sensu no eritutoto you say waposo enya de papa mpacho ko halo saba ko to bi tinated bi wo ho repass with Dama Pharmacy bi wo ho wa Shaiman ekusunsu bi wo ho House of Drugs obenye bi ato Jukat Pharmacy wo kaswa dependable herbal home ewo Medina ko forudiafo nkoto bi ewo Benob enefe Gapson Pharmacy upo ilchiremu fufuru bi abema mpacho ubetimi afre 0266 114 111 na Power Specialist Herbal Hospital was a minka cho say hepatitis A B C no obebu fatty liver prostate enlargement osa hun sem fibroid ni nyina na fe kidney stones obebu yepa o jirikejiri marima edro ipacho hebatin mixture so immune booster pebi nato bebi biara kwa benya ko ACP kwantiponi so eho no wonga so ene wo kumase won e wo fe yase bosontwe kwantiponi so edu ya junction takrade Anaji Estate kwa won ebe Ahatama Rural Bank 0244 544 442 and 0200 383 831 and 055 79 78 78 Ostek Real Estate also minga chese won't asipani bi wododowa ayikuma asebi do yimu ni afenya do wenya ni Shy Hills enti wose minga chese kania nyina nsusu ewo ho nsusu wo enti 0244 684 069 and 0204 933-748 and 0266-101-406. MTN Fuse Minga Chose Isim no still ano mi pacho eco friendly. Iti bomoding stay connected. Uni MTN wabusa funyen kita undi diade. Iti bomoding seamless sim ebebuo yepa pebi. Ubetumi afa MTN my MTN app no so now de nya card bi. Ubetumi aswapu wodu ano. Now de nya seamless MTN eSIM bi. Na nema akosuye kama edi ama. Upejire bi abi man betimi afre 100 senebeya uni won ebenya nkitahude ewo won digital channels no eso wie omanga de shi answer na mekwa kope x natural mineral water ni binama nomnom amenka wo se oru ba ko ni ding de Philip Taki wenye fisha eduosia anang 64 years or house number H/6 ewo Manet Estate Obojo o se minka chero se one ni hukeni ni ding edi agbemanya kote agbemanya umse mikacho se won abusuani bi sabre wo hwe ne wayira enti wo serew wo se won abusuani nso enya 64 years sara mbom oyobi asebi owanya adwumuka yare ne kakra na ne din ede John Taki enti wo se wo sere abusuafo Ghana fo nyina mumu ya won na muhu won de hye ya wayire yi a ubetumi afre won e wo 0276 12 5333 027612533 sene beya wo won abusani ekira kwanga wo si wo beda waso manga de sene medi kankan no eyi eye x natural mineral water ma minyina so yenkoje yen abo afo nkrato ye beba sisia
Ghana China Business Summit 2025. The Big Push. Labadi Beach Hotel. Monday, 23rd to Friday, 27th June 2025. Time 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Get ready for the most transformational business summit of the year. Organized by Sino Africa Group, Perfect World Company Limited, in collaboration with the Office of the President through the Chief of Staff. Theme: Synergizing Opportunities, Strengthening the Ghana-China Business Relationship. and fostering a 24-hour economy. Why you can't miss this. Over 70 top Chinese investors and government officials in attendance. Government to business and business to business matchmaking sessions. Unparalleled investment and trade opportunities across key sectors. Keynote speakers include special guest of honor, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. Other keynote speakers include Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable Julius Deborah, Chairman for the Summit, Chief of Staff, Office of the President. His Excellency Tong Defa, Chinese Ambassador to Ghana. Honorable Dr. KCL Atu Forsen, Minister for Finance. Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, Minister for Trade. Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Minister for Education. Honorable John Jinapo, Minister for Energy. Honorable Eric Opoku, Minister for Agriculture. Honorable Emmanuel Ejekum, Minister for Special Initiatives. Dr. Tony Aubin, CEO, Petroleum Hub. Honorable Sylvester Mensah, CEO, Ghana Exim Bank. Mr. Farihan Al-Hassan, MD, GCB Bank. Professor Michael Bessa White, CEO, SIGA. Mr. Chen Xiaowei, Chairman, Sino Africa Group. Mr. Dennis Anderson, CEO, Perfect World Limited. To register now, call 0303-960-584, 0599-774-044, or 0205-600-310. For more inquiries, email GhanaChinaBusinessSummit@gmail.com or visit www.GhanaChinaBusinessSummit.com. Limited spaces available. This summit is proudly supported by Office of the President, Chinese Embassy in Ghana, Ghana Embassy in Beijing. Media partners: Ghana China Business Summit 2025. The Big Push.
Timisi, a trifame twice, ha. Nkutudwi, a de common as a trime famine tinim. Jemeja, and mensem, yamushishi. Na aye titriti, I mean, who I mean, Jemeba. Canina me hawanu no, cause it's a mission joint forces, and in never life. We don't pay. And no waposwe yano, etutuno. Joint forces, and no nequaco yemuchima. Not the atichima obiano, it's a sin. Wuntsina, a muya ya. A church show, a free sissy, and the fowl truasiano, 9 and some, and she show a yeti medro and in never life. Joint fortis and in never life, and one never want to swallow.
MDA, I did the Nketiah atu.
Ghana, get ready to win big and live large with Mega Cash Lucky Box, the game where you could walk away with instant cash prizes. It's easy to play. Just dial *426*5# on all networks. Follow the prompt, pick a lucky box and reveal your cash prize. It's that simple. Win massive, up to 500,000 Ghana cedis. Don't miss your chance. Players all over Ghana are winning now.
I won!
What are you waiting for? Dial *426*5# or visit www.megacashluckybox.com and play on our web portal. The minimum to play is 5 Ghana cedis. Your lucky box could be holding that big cash prize. Mega Cash Lucky Box. Dial *426*5# and win instant cash today. Don't wait. Remember, terms and conditions apply and is annually approved on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Yes, I'm not a me taxi driver. Now, and can I Mississippi? A so Mississippi, I'm not coming out to net to me. Began 3P, Garrick Missano, a Buamipa.
That's a miracle we were dreaming. Just a full prayers and you start Chinian because I'm only to cast me only an easy. So, because the dear BB Shame is Rubino, and Noma, you me be finite community prime is a good destiny. I don't know that the young body, I be a word to my and Yansan Kutuan with a metro action. Never can Kwana.
Mediabe, 3 years in Hana, as a Muginawa, the name of the seniors and Maqua, but they are not so much. The best 6 years new, Emma,
the emergency and the Medina. I and then come prep. And then 4 days, and I'm a coto 3 guys in the stand. So I'm a discussion and coupon and and they have no cassie. No one from here, but you want to say
3P garlic mystery. We never do a memo from a city car shops and herbal shops. Fred Piwak, it was 024-89-288-24 and 020-100-002.
If Okrah na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehe papa na menya bosia edi atre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre. Menya bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuokuo bosia, susu account. And it does all savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And then the keka home. First Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Now one so what to me aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti mepa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. Growing our heritage.
Mesi menananu aguru basa abi bragro tibedo imlenu na ma premaye hojo.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye diagro na yesa edu maybe cry na me ba no timide omo be gumi so weekend no.
Hey, memre
I don't think I'm a catcher of say ya no medi garlic capsules. Poso na ebesi so kama. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi garlic capsules. Yes, Medi garlic capsules.
Medimosis garlic capsules. Wa mamoja dini paduani mu efurusani ye na esiesie oba ne barima mahona wodin. Ubenya edoi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy stores frey wo 050-349-4885. Edoi enye mamofra enye ndi fie dunyem. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medimosis unni how FDA Asiedu Nketiah tuwe atum.
Esaya mama kwa ba mangade se ehane ebegina na na jofa no se abrem kase ebo no yede ni nyinara esi hanom na owa akakpo Francis Eliklimu uye communication officer de mandi samanyuko wa Ahafuano North constituency usa ya presiding member ewo Ahafuano North mensinu emu anajofa yeda se ene wo kranhye ne fei almighty kaswa all the way Peter Quarantine ni dom musi anajofa mebuem edaso pictures ni clear. Lovely evening to you. Poms.
Elsia de nyina Asiedu Nketiah emfa ema na najo akwachewa won edi team na nim efo fa bia bo ne chidom Kofi Abrante Belinda nim Piesie wo mo aka na nyina abo chidom bi na nwume ye somo ewo ye kase boy emu MC Okrah nyina da mo nyina led by Director Raf nanano mo ahemfo ha modi enkonya nketenkete mo so ye chiache mo nyina wa MC ho ese mo ni na mo ye firma mo ni na mo ye firma mawu afa ye fa bi so nkoma camera crew Kofi many wa hase buli wa hana fi Francis so ha ba me fa happy birthday we nkoma nana ekua konyo uwo akuapem asese so oye abonten dom hima enti nana happy birthday nkoma nana anima ena se wish you happy birthday ba we nyina no emfiri baby ase Kaswa Republic every AK atom ne ho ena eba usiafo edi nyina si wa medine ama poma Checheku and you may Okrah Kofi Dako Hamza. Lovely evening.